So, Joe, hello.
Hi.
Uh, the first question from our leaders is as follows. How to learn to focus on what you want, on your goal, and not get lost in the daily routine? This question is from Yulia Zmudenko.
That's a wonderful question. What we want to do is have a goal and a vision that is so rich with sensory experience that you can't forget it. It should be a goal that inspires you. And if you have a goal that inspires you, it's going to stay in your heart and it's going to stay in your head. But another thing you can do is write your goal down on a card or a piece of paper and put it in your pocket. And then throughout the day, whenever you put your hand in your pocket, you'll touch the card. You don't even have to read it. You'll touch the card, which will trigger your mind to remember the goal and the vision that you want to have happen. The other thing you can do is throughout the day, spend a moment here and there and just visualize achieving your goal. So when you have a cup of coffee or you go to the restroom, anytime you're taking a little break and you're away from people, just kind of close your eyes and mentally revisit the goal. The more you can remind yourself of that goal, the more it will be implanted in your brain, in your subconscious mind, and it will be delivered to the universe. And over time, you will manifest it. So keep your goal inspiring and rich with sensory experience, and you'll remember it.
Great. Thank you so much. That was really so profound. The second question is as follows. Leadership is often associated with goals and results. But what state gives rise to true leadership that changes people and lives around us? How can we create it and return to it when external circumstances destroy our usual foundations? This is a question from Ukraine from Kirill Stepanov.
Well, it's a beautiful question, and it ties into my answer to the first question. So, you want to have a goal and a vision that excites you, that inspires you, and you want to remind yourself of it many times throughout the day. The more you can keep this exciting vision in your own mind, the more you will be positive about your life and as you go through day to day activities. The other thing is, and I said this in my presentation, people want a leader with a vision that's bigger than just making money or just selling product. You want a vision about making a difference. When you have a vision that excites you, that vision can inspire everybody around you, no matter what's going on in outer circumstances, because your inner vision will carry you through whatever takes place in your life. The example I gave in my presentation is about my movie. The movie is called Zero Limits. If I just say, hey, I have a movie, go watch it, it's a great movie, that's okay, but it doesn't really inspire people. If I say this movie is part of a mission, and the mission is to help awaken people to have a zero limits life, it's a little bit more inspiring. Now I have a vision that people can latch on to and be inspired by. But I can also go one step further and say the movie is part of a movement. And the movement is to awaken humanity, to save people from their suffering. Well, I just took a simple movie and turned it into the salvation of the planet. This is the kind of thinking you have to take to your own business. You're not just selling forever living products here. You are making a difference in people's lives. And the more you have a vision and a goal that excites you, that will spill over and excite them. And together you can move forward, no matter what the circumstances are, to achieve your big goals. So that's the simple answer.
Thank you so much. Uh, the next question is more compound and more complex, and it sounds as follows. What tools do you use to maintain a balance between your personal life, business life, your job, and spiritual growth? How would you allocate your time in percentage terms between these important areas of life? And this question is from Irina Shved.
Again, a wonderful question. I'm very impressed with the questions we're getting here. In my presentation, I said there was a five-star system to become an awakened leader. And this five-star system is really talking about having balance in your life. You can't just do the spiritual. You have to do all 5 points of the star. You can't just do the mental and just think. You have to do all 5 points of the star. You can't just do the physical and work out and take actions all the time. You need all 5 points. The answer to the question is similar. You need to have balance with your work and with your personal and everything that you do in your life. I don't know that I can give an exact percentage. If you sat down and looked at all the different things that are part of that question, whether it's the personal or the business or something else, you might want to just reflect on it, meditate on it, contemplate it, and then decide how much do you allocate to each one of those. I again say you must have balance in your life. If you are all business because you want to make a money, you want to make money and you want to break sales records and you want to be known as a great salesperson, you might overlook your family and you might overlook your health. You might overlook all the things you need to do to be balanced. So I would say write down the different things we're talking about. And that is career, that is family, that is health, that is spirituality. And then reflect, how can you balance those every day? For example, a lot of people get up early in the morning and they do their workout. They are exercising. They are covering the physical part of it. And then after that, some people will go and they will do some reading. They'll do some meditating. They'll do some contemplating. They'll read books by me, some of the other success literature that is out there in the world, because they are handling the thinking part, the goal setting part. And then they have to consider how much time for their family. Certainly, you want to include your family. If you've got a spouse and you have kids, you must include them. So I don't know that I could give specific percentages, but I do invite and challenge people to sit through this question in their own lives and make sure that they are handling the 5 points of the star in my presentation. When they do that, they'll be closer to being an awakened leader and a more balanced human being.
Great, thank you so much. Next question. What should you do if someone tries to apply your methods but doesn't see results?
That's a wonderful question. This is where you have to do the deep inner work to discover your own belief system. This is what I've discovered after being in this business over 50 years. I'm in my 70s. I've written 90 books. I have created coaching programs. I have created online seminars. I have worked with people. I've worked with royalty. I've worked with presidents. I have worked with celebrities. And here's what I've discovered. You have conscious intentions, and those are your goals. Those are the things you want to have, do, or be. But what most people don't know is they have subconscious counter intentions. Let me explain this. Consciously, you can sit there and say, I want to have more money. I want to be a record-breaking salesperson in forever living. And that's all well and good. That's a wonderful intention. It's a conscious intention. However, if in your subconscious mind / your unconscious mind, you have beliefs about that are limiting, you will prevent your own success. You could have beliefs that say money's bad. Well, if you think money's bad, you're not going to want it in your life. You could have beliefs that say everybody's better than me. And if you think you don't have the skills that other people have, you can prevent your own success. Your unconscious inner belief will create your outer reality. Most people don't know this. So if somebody is trying to achieve something right now, they're applying my techniques, they're applying techniques from the various books they've read, the movies like The Secret, or even my movie, Zero Limits, and then they look around going, I'm not getting the results. That's where they have to pause and ask themselves, what could be the subconscious limiting beliefs that are preventing your success? This is important. This is the fundamental thing the average person does not understand. This is my contribution to all of the self-help success literature of the world. It's the understanding that you have to do the deeper work. You have to look for the unconscious beliefs. Sometimes you need to hire a coach or a mentor, somebody trained to help find those beliefs because you may not easily see them because they're your beliefs. If you have subconscious beliefs hidden in your mind, you consciously may not find them right away because they're hidden. They're in the blind spots of your own consciousness. You can find them by meditating, by reflecting, by wondering what beliefs might I have to create this barrier to success. But very often you might have to hire a professional. This is why I created Miracles Coaching 25 years ago, because I saw the value of being a coach to people who were struggling. I found the value of having a coach in my own life. I had been homeless. I went through poverty. I was trying all the right things. I had all the right intentions, but I wasn't getting anywhere until I had a coach. And the coach helped me see what I'm talking about, the counter intentions and the blind spots in my own mind. So that's the deep work that you have to do to unravel what is preventing you from success.
Thank you so much. That was really, really great. And the next question is connected, of course, with all the others, and especially with the book Secret, with the film Secret and the book, and is as follows. What is the most important lesson from The Secret that can be applied to everyday life? And this question is from Asana Valzara.
That's a wonderful question, too. I think from the movie The Secret, there's two things I want people to know. The very first is The Secret is all about what you think you will tend to bring into your life. So the first insight is be aware of your thinking. Are you thinking about what you want to have, do, and be? Most people are not. Most people are thinking about things to complain about. They're thinking about the negative. They're thinking about what they're worried about or afraid of. The Secret taught us about the law of attraction. And that basically says what you're thinking about predominantly and most of the time is what you're going to attract into your life. That's the first thing that The Secret taught us. The second thing that The Secret taught us, and most people miss this, is that you must take action. I am in the movie The Secret, and I say the universe likes speed. I say it's your job to take action. Now, most people who watch the movie The Secret miss that part. They make the mistake of thinking, oh, all I have to do is think it, and it'll come into my life. That's too simple, and that's not correct. Certainly think it, but also take action. Those are the two basic lessons from the movie and the book, The Secret.
Thank you so much. The next question is even more interesting, so to say, and it is as follows. Is it possible to completely slow down aging and double the quality of human life through the power of thought and proper actions?
I love the question. That's so cool, especially because I am in my 70s at this point. And so I think about aging and I think about longevity. And what I have found is if you are thinking positive and acting positive and remaining optimistic and doing the 5 points of the star system to become an awakened leader that I talked about in the previous presentation, yes, you can slow down aging. You can actually slow it down. You can have more fun. You can be more mobile. You can be more agile. You can do more than anybody else who might be thinking negative or thinking in a limited way. Yes, your thoughts affect your physical reality. Your physical reality includes your body. So your thoughts are affecting everything. It's affecting the reality that you are experiencing, your environment. It's also experiencing and affecting your actual physical body. So the short answer is yes, of course, your thoughts are going to affect your aging and help slow it down and make it more enjoyable every step of the way.
Thank you. Thank you. That's a really good news. Um, then, how to maintain the state that contributes to the realization of desired life scenario and the fulfillment of desires, and how, after a desire has been fulfilled or a goal has been achieved, not to fall back, but to maintain the level of energy to move forward.
Yeah, that's another great question. These questions are great. These forever living people are amazing. I love it. I love them. So the first part of the answer goes back to the answer in my very first question, and that is about reminding yourself of your goal and your vision and thinking about it and feeling it every day. So you stay enthused, you stay excited, you stay motivated, you keep the momentum going because you're thinking about my goal and I'm going to achieve it. And this is what it's going to feel like. And this is how it's going to affect me and my life and the people around me and the people I love. That keeps you going. The other part of the question is, what about after you've achieved the goal? That's a great question. What you do after you achieve your goal is go for another goal. What you are constantly doing is reaching for more. We want to keep stretching. We want to keep growing. We want to exceed our comfort zone. We want to achieve something and go, that was great, applaud ourselves, pat ourselves on the back, and then go for the next one. Move the goalpost, so to speak, down the road a little bit further. What I'm doing today in my life far exceeds what I think was possible when I was a child or a teenager. My first book was published in 1984. I had no idea that I would write 90 more books. I write the first book in 1984 because that was the goal. After I write it, I look around and I go, what's next? There's another book. After that, I go, what's next? There's another book. After that, I go, what's next? And I branch out into speaking and I branch out into movies and I branch out into becoming a musician and recording albums. Then I branch out in athletics and I go into fitness contests. And I branch out into, I said the other day, I'm in mixed martial arts at the age of 71. I am going for more. So the short answer is stretch. Go for another goal that excites you and scares you. A good goal should scare you a little bit and excite you a lot. Now you know you got the juices flowing, your energy is flowing, and you can go and accomplish the next big thing.
Great. Thank you. Thank you so much. Um, the next question is as follows. What do you think is the key factor in inner resilience and self-confidence when the outcome depends not only on your personal efforts, but also on the team?
That's another wonderful question. The first thing I want people to realize is that you build your inner strength, your inner confidence by doing something very simple, and that is keeping your word. Keep your word. Now, this is more powerful than you might at first consider because most people don't keep their word. Most people will say things like, I will see you tomorrow at 11 a.m. and we'll have our appointment and I'll go over the forever living material. And then tomorrow you're late. You don't show up at 11 a.m. Maybe you show up at 11:05 or 11:30. Either way, you did not keep your word. The first thing that happens when you don't keep your word is you realize you're lying to yourself. Your subconscious mind is listening and watching to everything that you are experiencing. When you say, I will meet you to go over the forever living product line tomorrow at 11, and you don't show up, you have just told your subconscious, don't believe anything I say. I'm not reliable. And your inner strength has failed. You have weakened your internal muscles. Also, what did you just teach the person you said you were going to meet at 11 o'clock and you didn't meet at 11 o'clock? You just taught them not to trust you. They're not going to believe you. You have weakened your integrity in their mind. You might be a very integrity-oriented person in your mind, but if you don't keep your word to yourself and to other people, which includes your team, they're not going to trust you. A rule of thumb in business that I discovered 30 years ago is people buy from people they know, they like, and they trust. So when you say you're going to do something, whether it's to yourself or your team, you must do it. I'm going to give you a third reason why this is so powerful. Yes, when you say you're going to do something, your internal self is watching. And if you don't do it, your internal self considers you not to be trustworthy. And on the second level, when you say you're going to do something to another person and you don't do it, you've just told them you're not trustworthy. You've just weakened their confidence in you. But there's a third thing that happens, and most people don't think about this. The third thing that happens is that the universe, the divine, the great something, what Napoleon Hill, the author of Think and Grow Rich, had called infinite intelligence, it's watching too. And when you say you're going to do something and you don't do it, you lied to yourself, you lied to somebody else, and the universe now goes, I can't believe them. They're not trustworthy. When you state a big goal and you say, oh, I want to do this, I want to achieve this amount of income or this amount of sales, the great something, the universe, the cosmos, infinite intelligence is listening and says, why should I believe you? You didn't keep your word before. So I'm saying this is very simple because it's a very easy thing to do in stating I'm going to do something and then actually maintaining your word and doing it. That's the answer.
Thank you so much. Next question is, what practices or habits help you personally cope with setbacks and regain the energy to move forward? Actually, it is something similar as it was already, but anyway, maybe you have definite habits that you that helps you to cope with these things.
Yeah, I love that question. And it is different. It's a different answer because I've learned two things. One is the more I can express gratitude every day, the better my life becomes.
Mhm.
Let's stop there for a second because when I say express gratitude, I mean you make time every day to say thank you. And you're saying thank you for whatever is in your life. And you may have a forever living team that you're grateful for. Wonderful. You're thankful for that. But you may have a family that you're grateful for. You say you're grateful for that. You may have little things that are going on in your life that you're grateful for. You say thank you for that. But here's the deeper level of gratitude that most people don't think about. You want to be grateful for the things you take for granted. Your life, your life, the air you breathe, the way your body is operating without you doing anything. Your heart is pumping, the blood's going through, your mind is working, your eyes are working, you're able to listen to me, you're seeing me. All of this is happening because the gifts that were given to you called life. We don't usually stop and pause and say thank you. We need to say thank you every day. I make time every morning and every evening to go into gratitude because gratitude is a powerful way to transform your entire life. When you focus on what's working in your life, you pay less attention to what has been not working or what has disappointed you. So the first answer is to pay attention to what you're grateful for and to go deeper than the obvious and superficial and be grateful for the life that you've been given and all the elements around it. The second thing, the second level that I look at is everything that happens is useful for the next thing you do. Everything that happens, whether it disappointed you, you thought it was a failure, it didn't play out the way you hoped it would or visualized it would, everything is taking you to the next level. You have to look at what occurred, and instead of saying, oh, that was a failure, no, there is no such thing as failure. Your mind has to look at everything that happens as feedback. So instead of saying it was a failure, you would say, it didn't work out the way I expected, but it did work out in this way. So how can I use how it worked out to move me forward in my life, in my family, in my business? So all of this is a new attitude that you take towards your life, one of gratitude and appreciation and one of expectation. The expectation is, however something worked out, rather than being disappointed, you want to find where's the gold? Where's the positive? What is this new path showing me? So instead of being disappointed, you actually become excited.
Wow, thank you so much. Thank you. Um, the next question will be a little bit long, but not less
Okay.
interesting. 10 months of the year have passed. 2 months remain. A significant leap forward in business is required to achieve the desired business level. How can one quickly get into a state of mind that will help them believe that such a leap is possible? And what techniques can be used to achieve the goal in such a short period of time? And this question is from our leader, Demidova Natalia.
I love the question. That is a very thought-provoking question. I have an answer, of course. And the first answer is anything is possible. Anything. I wrote a book called Anything is Possible. The movie Zero Limits is about doing the impossible. The only thing that stops us are our beliefs about what's possible. So if somebody is sitting here going, oh, we only have 2 months left, we can't do the goal that we thought we were going to do. How do we know that's true? That is a spoken belief. That is a limitation. It is not a fact. When we say something's not possible, we're not stating a fact. We're stating our belief about what's possible. So we want to first become aware of how are we limiting our own possibility. The second thing we want to do is create new beliefs that say it is possible. There's a wonderful book out called Useful Not True. Useful Not True. And it's about selecting beliefs that are useful to you, but they're not actual facts. So, to give you an example, we're saying there's 2 months left. How are we going to achieve our goals? Well, a useful belief is there's 2 months left. That's better than 1 week left, so we can easily achieve our goals. You switch your perception of what's possible because you switched your beliefs about what's possible. The next thing I want to say, and this is something I discovered a long time ago, and that is in order to get a goal that you think is pretty big, double it. Double it. So, for example, we're sitting here right now, and as the person who asked the question says, we have 2 months left. How are we going to achieve our goals? Well, that means you already have a goal. You want to achieve whatever the goal is. I'm urging you to double the goal. Double the goal right now. By doubling the goal, you are going to scare yourself and you're going to excite yourself. And by scaring and exciting yourself, you're going to awaken powers in your mind and in your spirit and even in your team to do what is considered by other people to be impossible. I live in the world where nothing is impossible. Anything is possible. I'm encouraging people to have zero limits living, zero limits beliefs, and going for whatever the biggest, boldest, most bodacious goal could be for them. Because this excites them, and it does scare them a little bit because they don't know how they're going to do it. But this makes all parts of you, all members of your team, and it invites the universe, the great something, the cosmos, source energy, infinite intelligence to help you too. So, having 2 months left, that is fantastic. You can achieve your goals by doubling them and taking action right now.
Thank you so much. The next question is, how can you stay inspired and believe in yourself when the path to your goal seems too long and time is running out again?
Well, time's never running out. Time is the one thing that just keeps on going. I think the answer is in a lot of the answers I've already given, because the more you can remind yourself of your goal and make the goal big and make the goal sensory rich so you can see it and you can feel it and you can imagine it and you can live it in your mind, the more it'll stay with you and the more you will tell your body, your mind, your subconscious, and the universe to help you achieve it. What I'm hearing in that question is a fear of it not actually happening, a fear of it not working, a fear of failure, a fear of there being a mistake or there being a incompleteness about creating the goal. And I want to remind you that that fear is simply a belief. Here's an insight. Right now, as we sit here in real time, we don't know what the future holds. We don't know what the next hour holds. We don't know the next hour. We don't know tomorrow or next week or next month or next year. We don't know any of that. So that means we have a choice. We can sit here in this moment and we can be afraid. Oh, what if the next hour is when the world ends or the sun burns out or the business flops? Or what if next week it all is incomplete and all next week we find out that nothing is working? Or you can come from faith and say, what if the next hour is the best one of my day so far? What if there's a turning point in my mind, in my business, in my team later today? What if I hit sales records and achieve my goals and go past them over the next few days or the next weeks or so? Which one makes you feel more empowered? When you come from fear or when you come from faith? Which one makes you want to get up in the morning and make your calls and have your meetings and work the business? When you come from fear or you come from faith? Which one makes you happier? Which one makes you healthier? Which one is going to inspire you and your team? When you come from fear or you come from faith? I'm reminding you that you have a choice. Since the future is entirely unknown, why not just choose faith and choose that it's going to be great? It's going to work out. I am going to make my contributions. I am going to focus on my goals, and I will help my team along the way, and I will inspire my team with my holding faith. So you have a choice, fear or faith. I say choose faith.
Thank you so much. Uh, the next one is how can I, and it's really interesting as for me, how can I stop being afraid of my power and scale and accept that I am meant for greater influence and abundance?
This is wonderful because you have to focus on how you can use your power for good and how you can make a difference in your life, your family's life, your team's life, the world's life. This is a turning point question because too many people play small, and they're playing small because they're afraid. They're afraid of their power. They're afraid that they might make a mistake. They're afraid that they might do something that will have repercussions they'll regret. So they play small. I tell people that's coming from fear. If we come from faith, which is what we've been talking about, and we come from making a difference in the world, then we can be excited about playing big. I learned a long time ago that one of the best ways to bring more money into your life, for example, is to think about all the good you can do with that money. Yes, you can do good for yourself. You can buy better clothes, maybe a bigger house, do all kind of wonderful things that enriches your life. That's wonderful. But think about who else you can help. You may have a family that you can enrich with your extra wealth. And as you play bigger and you have more sales and you have more revenue, you have more income coming in, you might think about the community you're in and how you can make a difference with them. And as you start thinking even bigger and playing with your power on a mega scale, and you start to consider what's actually possible if I really took the lid off of my thinking. And now you can start thinking about, can I make a difference in the world? About 15 years ago, I started a movement called Operation Yes. And Operation Yes is designed to end homelessness. To end homelessness. That's bigger than anything Joe had decided to do when he was a struggling writer. When I was a struggling writer and playing small, I just wanted to get a book published. But as I did do that, and I started to play with more of my ability and what potential was there for me, I started to expand my thinking and make a difference with family, with friends, with causes I believed in, and ultimately to start my own movement to end homelessness. This is huge. So I invite anybody who may be feeling like the person who sent in the question to start to play with how will you make a difference with your power for good in the world? This takes it out of just you. It's wonderful to take care of you. You must take care of you. That's survival. That's wonderful. That's you deserve it. But to use more of your power, think about how you will use it for good in the world. Even if you're only helping one or two other people, you're moving in the direction of making a difference. And that's what it's all about. We want to help the world. We want to help each other. We want to awaken the planet. And you awaken the planet by becoming the awakened leader, which is what I was talking about in my presentation, and you want to become an awakened leader to use more of your inner strength.
Wow, thank you so much. The next question, how can one trust the process and stop thinking that one has to control everything to maintain success?
I love the question because I've thought the question myself over my lifetime. And the insight is we really don't control anything. We really don't control anything. We influence everything, but we don't control everything. There's a big difference. The only thing that we have some say in, which means we have some control over, is our inner internal experience, what we're thinking, what we're feeling, and what we're doing. The outer world has its own free will. It can do whatever it likes based on what it's thinking and feeling and doing. So you have to come within yourself and realize as long as I focus on what I want, as long as I take actions to achieve what I want, as long as I use my powers for good, and I am an awakened leader to my team and the people I touch who end up being customers or prospects in my life, then you are doing all you can do. And you allow the universe to do what it does. Now, the other thing that's a little deeper in my answer is to realize when you're clear about what you want and you have your vision, you know you're making a difference, you're helping other people, you believe in your products and your service, and you believe in your team, the universe supports you. Infinite intelligence supports you. The cosmos, source, the divine, whatever you want to call this higher power, it will support you. It will open doors for you. It will give you signs and signals on where to go and what to do when you get there. But you don't control any of that. You allow that, you receive that, and you can be grateful for that. But it all comes back to you and your internal experience. You're asking the question, what do you want to have, do, or be? That's stating your intention. And you're aligning your beliefs so that you can make it possible. And then, of course, you're taking action, which is another step most people overlook. You're taking action to move in the direction of achieving your goal. As you do all of that, the cosmos, infinite intelligence, will help you get there. But you don't control it, and you can't predict it. All you can do is follow the inner guidance that you get.
Thank you so much. How can I allow myself to go with the flow and receive big money without fearing that I won't be able to handle its energy?
That's another wonderful question. Boy, these forever living people are wonderful. Very, very, very provocative questions, very deep questions. We grow into having more money. What I mean by that is there have been many stories of people who inherited a lot of money or they won a lottery and received a lot of money and they weren't prepared for it and they ended up losing it. They misused it, they gambled it, they gave it away, they spent it. They had no idea how to use the energy that comes with that much money. They lost it. There's numerous stories that say that. What I've learned is that you grow into having more by handling what you have. I'll say that again. You grow into having more money by learning to handle the money that is coming into you now. Now, the best way to do this, and this is a profound insight, and almost nobody out there knows this. This is a secret I'm going to share with the Forever Living friends. I am now friends with everybody in Forever Living, and I can't wait to go to a live event and be there in person and hug everybody. So, what is this great secret? The great secret is this, and it was said by a teacher by the name of Arnold Patent. Yeah. Arnold Patton said, the sole purpose of money is to express appreciation. The sole purpose of money is to express appreciation. The sole purpose of money is to express appreciation. Now, I want everybody to let that sink in. This means that every time you receive money, spend money, give money, invest money, you need to do it with a spirit of gratitude. Most people don't. Most people are grumbling. I don't have enough, or I got to pay these bills. They're complaining all the time. I remember when I was homeless and I was in poverty for a very long time, that I always felt like I had to hold on to money and it was survival. And if I had to let go of any of it to buy food or pay for rent or something, I did it grumbling and unhappy and complaining and griping. And I continued to struggle until the day I awakened to the realization that the sole purpose of money is to express appreciation. And I started to say thank you when I gave it away. And thank you when I paid for something. And thank you when I wrote the check. This enabled me to appreciate the money I had, which enlarged my ability to have more. And as more came in, and I appreciated that and said thank you as I dispersed it, the more I enlarged to allow even more money to come in. So the short answer is you have to learn how to appreciate the wealth you have. And as you do, you will grow into having more and more and more.
Thank you. Thank you so much. And the next question we still have time for is what impact the film Secret have on you personally or on those who watched it if you have such information?
Well, the movie The Secret came out 20 years ago, 20 years ago now. And people are still watching it and still talking about it and still being changed by it. That's a miracle. That's amazing that a movie has been out for 2 decades and is still changing lives. I keep hearing from people that it inspires them. It gives them hope. It gives them a technique to use their mind to start to create a better life for themselves. And that is priceless and that is wonderful. For me personally, the movie changed my life. Before I was in the movie, I was known for internet marketing and some of the books I had written. And so I was known more as a businessman and a businessman on the internet. And I became quite famous for that. And some people today even remember that. But when the movie The Secret came out, I suddenly became the star in the self-help movement. Oprah did shows about The Secret. Larry King, who was alive at the time, did 2 shows or 3, and I was on 2 of them. And I've been around the world talking about The Secret. I've had deals because of The Secret. I've met more people because of The Secret. The Secret turned me into a spiritual celebrity. And so it's had a profound effect on me, and I will be forever grateful to be in the movie. I didn't ask for it, I didn't expect it, but I did say yes and appeared in it.
Thank you. Thank you so much. And again, one more question about the film
Okay.
Secret. Um, and this is like if you believe that a person's thought determine their fate, as the film claims.
Was the question, do I believe? Is that it?
Yeah. Yep.
Your thoughts affect your fate. Most certainly, your thoughts affect your fate. I want to be sure that I'm clear about this because the movie The Secret is a little bit misleading. It's a little bit misleading because it paints the picture that you can recreate the direction of your life. And my personal philosophy about this is we're born with a given life mission. We have an assignment that has been given to us when we're born. We have free will and we can say no to the assignment. I have found it's wiser to say yes to it, but we have an assignment and it's different for each person. And so fulfilling that assignment by aligning our thoughts with it creates a consciously led fate. But it's not a negative fate. To give you an example, I believe I was born with the assignment to inspire people. And for a long time, I thought it was to inspire people through books. And so I've written lots of books. I've written 90 books. But then I realized, oh, I can inspire people by speaking. And so I've been on stages around the world to tens of thousands of people at a time. And then I realized I can inspire people through movies. And of course, I was in The Secret, but I've been in 30 more movies and now have my own movie, and I'm inspiring people through the movies. And then I realized, oh, I can inspire people through music. And I became a musician. I've recorded 15 albums, and I'm inspiring people through my music. So the underlying assignment has been to inspire people. But how I inspire people is where I can influence fate. And my mind has said, oh, you can do it with books, you can do it with speaking, you can do it with music, you can do it with movies, and who knows what else. So, yes, we influence our fate, and we can even reject it and try to recreate it. But I think our life mission is a gift. And each person has something that they can go within and find, and then they can use their thinking, their positive thinking, their goal setting, their positive actions to enlarge on that gift and make it come true. So I say, you've been given a great gift. Go act on it.
Thank you so much. And one more question that is also about that. And we a little bit talked about that already. If the law of attraction can be dangerous or misleading, yeah, by offering unrealistic solutions.
That's an interesting question because the word unrealistic is a red flag. Because what do we know is realistic? What is unrealistic? We don't know. When somebody is sitting here saying, oh, you can't do that, that's unrealistic, that is coming from their limiting beliefs. There are numerous stories, many of them are in my movie, Zero Limits, of people doing what others thought was unrealistic, but they did them. They accomplished them. They did the impossible. They cured the incurable. They did things that other people would think is unrealistic, yet they did them. So I say the law of attraction, the movie The Secret, is encouraging you to do unrealistic things because the unrealistic can become very, very real if you have the vision, if you have the support, if you have the beliefs, if you take care of your counter intentions, and you take persistent action. Anything is possible.
Thank you. Thank you so much. And one more question, and that would be a little bit long and maybe a little bit of complicated, but I will try. Today, more and more people are realizing that we are capable of creating our own reality through interaction with the quantum field,
Mhm.
a space where all possibilities already exist. However, in practice, many find it difficult to enter this state and maintain the high vibrations in which desires manifest naturally. How do you think a person can truly connect with this field? Not just to visualize, but to live at that very frequency of what has already been realized, allowing prosperity and abundance to manifest easily or harmoniously.
I love the question. We're going to make that the last question because my answer is going to be so profound, people are going to be thinking about it and contemplating it for the rest of the day. So here we go. First of all, This goes back to my presentation about the 5 stars and about the spiritual and the physical and the thinking and the social and all of those different aspects. And one of the things I said in my presentation is that you're not your thoughts. And I said you're not your emotions and you're not your body. You're this witness inside all of it. So let's go there right now. I'm inviting everybody to step into the quantum field with my guidance. We're doing it this moment. I want you to notice your thinking. You're thinking about me, you're thinking about the questions, you're thinking about the answers, you're thinking about all kind of different things. But I want you to notice you're not those thoughts. That thinking is almost like clouds going by the sky. They're just going by and you're noticing it. So you are the observer of your thoughts. Just step back from your thoughts for a moment. And then notice you have emotions. Maybe you're excited from some of these questions and answers today. Maybe you're excited about forever living and all the possibilities, and you should be. And maybe you've got other things going on, the feelings that are concerns or whatever the feeling is. Like thoughts, you can comment on them. You can tell me about them. You can write about them, but you're not them. You're the observer to your own emotions. So just for a moment, you're stepping back from your thoughts, you're stepping back from your emotions, and you're the witness. And now notice you have a body, you're inside the body, and you're looking out through your eyes. And you can tell me about your body, and you may love some parts and want to change some parts, and maybe something's a little hurting, and maybe everything is fine. But you can tell me about the body because you're in the body, observing your body. You're not your body. So now you've stepped back from your thoughts, your emotions, and your body, and you are consciousness within it. And now, as you are this consciousness within it, I want you to think about your vision for your forever living business and your team. What do you want to experience in the forever living business? How do you want it to be? And I want you to create this image that has feeling and sensory awareness to it. Make it as real as possible in your mind's eye inside yourself. How much money, how many sales, how big is your team? What is the potential? What is the ideal fulfillment? What does that feel like to you? And then I want you to step into it as if it's actually happening right now. You are thinking and feeling and inside the body of a successful, forever living business person with your own team, with your own downline, with your own sales going on. What does it feel like to have all of this coming true? It should feel exciting. It should feel complete. It should feel exhilarating. And as you're feeling it, imagine while you're inside this body of a person that is experiencing this success, who do you tell about the success? Who do you call? Who do you visit? Who do you write to? And imagine doing it. You're sharing your success in forever living with somebody else. And you are excited and you're raving about this. And now let all of that dissolve and go into the field of all possibilities, the energy field that you have come from. You let that image go like a seed that has been planted in the universe of all possibilities. And then as you let that dissolve and you become more aware of my voice and the body you're currently in, and the feelings you currently have, and the thoughts you currently have, and you're back in this moment, real time, with me in this group now, you have just experienced stepping into the quantum field. You have just planted a seed of desire in the quantum field. And whenever you want to do it, you go through the same kind of active meditation where you go past your thoughts, past your emotions, deep within your body. And now you're touching the quantum field And in that quantum field, you can generate the experience you want to manifest, feel it real there for a little bit, and then send it, let it dissolve into the quantum field. And then you come back to everyday reality and you walk your talk, you do your business, and you expect miracles.
Thank you so, 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 so much. Thank you.
My pleasure. I love this group. I love these questions. I love you for helping me get through all of this. I urge everybody to go for your dreams and to expect miracles.
Okay, thank you very much. Joe, I want to ask, can I get one copy with Hungarian and Russian translator from this Zero movie? Because I find yesterday I didn't find it. How can download it in Prime Video or another streamer? I can
Okay.
streaming because they said your country is not available. It's a Prime Video, and this is the first one. The second one is personally.
Okay.
I am 30 years old, multi-level business. I think that you many in front of many group was speaking, and my question is, okay, I am successful, okay, but this is my fault or not that 30 years ago nobody uh, nobody is or were the same
Mondjad
level.
magyarul.
Tehát akkor azt akarom mondani. Uh, Vannak edzők, például foci edzők, akik nem voltak a aktív éveikben kiemelkedőek.
For instance, there are coaches, coaches, like football or soccer
Yeah.
coaches that were not really successful like football players.
Vagy teniszedző nem volt valami nagy. És
Or
utána,
tennis
mint,
coaches, they were not
és
big or successful tennis players.
utána, mint edző, világbajnokokat tudtak csinálni.
But being and working as coaches, they succeeded to raise really, really successful tennis players or soccer players or whatever, right? Like
Én,
being
én,
trainers.
én voltam világelső az MV-be, voltam világelső a Foreverbe,
Because he was number one in Amway, he was number one in Forever Living Products.
példával vezetek, mindent elértem, amit el lehet érni helyek közel, hát világelső két nagy cégnél, az már elég nagy eredmény.
Is leading people, first of all, by his own personal example
Mhm.
and achieved all the success that could achieve in each of these companies.
Tudomásom szerint senki nem szervezett rajtam kívül 40 000 fős szemináriumot, multilevel, soha, hogy csak egyetlen egy csoport volt ott, az enyém.
As far as we are aware of, only me and nobody else could organize a seminar at which, at one place, at one time, there were 40,000 people from one company, from one network.
Oké, és
Right.
mégis kudarcnak érzem azt, hogy 30 év után nem tudtam legalább 2-3 embert, aki nálam fiatalabb és jobb. Tehát nagyobb eredményeket ér el.
A te csoportodban, hogy te nem tudtál
Így van,
felnevelni már?
nem tudtam olyan embereket nevelni.
Értem. And in spite or despite of this fact, I feel like a failure that I haven't succeeded in raising in my team, in my group, people that could be as good as I am or better than me, younger than me, and achieving more than me.
Sokszor úgy érzem, hogy ez az én edzői kudarcom.
Because I often feel that it is my failure as being a trainer, as being a mentor and coach.
Hogy van az, hogy meggyőző, hihető vagyok?
Na, ez most egy jó kérdés.
I am good example for my leaders. I have Rolls-Royce, Bentley, Ferrari, everything, 10 cars, Lamborghini, and big houses in Spain, 8 million euro cost, and I am good example, and nobody is not close to me. Tehát
Oh,
meg se közelítenek.
Jól mondtad.
so is that the question?
Az ugye ez most egy kérdés
Hogy,
volt.
hogy ezt én úgy éljem, mint edzői kudarcot?
Yeah, is just he is very interested in your opinion. Is it really his personal failure, or is he kind of a how to say a loser as a trainer?
Oh,
You know, not having
As
been
a
I
great.
will
trainer
give
is
it.
my fault.
Yeah, I'll give a quick answer because I need to go. I'm already six
Yeah,
minutes
sure, sure.
past where I need to go. First, he's not a failure in any way, shape, or form. None. Second of all, the people that are following him are not him. He needs to break down for them the exact mental states that he goes through to achieve his results. These mental states they can catch and start to implement, and they can start to get closer to the results he has. He's unique. He is himself. He is not a failure. He is actually an inspiration.
Mm. Na, ezeket gyorsan lefordítom, és már kell mennie, mert meg van beszélve
Okay,
nekem már.
thank you, and please send to me your
Yes.
email and WhatsApp or something, and this
Okay.
one copy I need it from
Yeah.
this.
Thank you
On.
so much. Thank you
Okay,
so
Thank you,
much.
thank
Martha.
you, and
You're both
I
wonderful.
hope so that we will work in the future together.
Yes, I would love to. Thank
Okay.
We would love to.
Bye
Thank you.
bye.
Thank you so
you.
much.
Bye-bye.
Bye.